Yo, what's up guys, Trickstamikaze, and today I'm actually going to be doing a One Piece chapter review. A lot of people don't know this about me, but I do love One Piece. I read it every week, so without further ado, let's actually get into this review. Okay, so we start off this chapter with the cover page, which is okay in my opinion. I don't really care about putting it. I actually kind of hate her, but I know a lot of people actually do like her, which is okay in my opinion. Anything to get rid of the Chi Foam stuff, I am happily okay with. So it actually starts off right after chapter 1009 where Big Mom is actually falling down to the sea, and just judging from last chapter, I don't think anybody actually expected Big Mom to die from this. It would be way too easy, and that's not really a way for a Yonko to really go out. It would be pretty damn underwhelming if that's how a Yonko went out, but if any Yonko was to go out like that, it would definitely be Big Mom in my opinion. So while she's falling, she's actually begging for Zeus to come and help her, but Law is actually making sure that Zeus cannot get anywhere near her. And while Law is keeping him preoccupied, Zoro actually comes out of nowhere and actually slices him up, which actually damages Zoro a little bit. Not Zeus necessarily damaging Zoro, but Zoro did just take an attack from 2 Yonko, and he's pretty tired and damaged from taking that attack. Which, as you can expect, him doing any more is going to damage his body, but that's our GOAT Zoro, right? He's able to do that, and that's why we love him. And Law is actually shocked by this, and he says he's actually surprised that Zoro hasn't broken every bone in his body after taking an attack not from 1 but 2 Yonko at the same time. You see, this is why we love Zoro, bro. He's just such a badass. How can you hate him? How can you hate him? But the Big Mom slander is kind of real with this one because Kaido calls her pathetic and an invalid. Now the translations are kind of wonky, but you can kind of just make the assumption that invalid means kind of like liability. So after this, Kaido actually gets annoyed with Zoro and actually tells him to let Prometheus go, and not before Law actually comes out of nowhere and hits Kaido full force with ejection shot. Which I'm happy about, right? Like, I'm happy he was able to actually get a solid blow on Kaido, right? And one thing I will say I dislike, not about Law necessarily, but this arc, they have been heavily nerfing Law in his abilities, which is kind of making me upset. Like, it actually kind of irked me that the effectiveness of his Devil Fruit is based on like his opponent's Haki, and it just seems like they're nerfing it every arc. So honestly, at this point, I'm just taking the Nails Fruit if I had a choice. It's simple, OP, and it's fast. But after that, Kaido actually gets upset and he actually goes after Law, but Law is able to switch himself out with Prometheus. And Zoro's like, hey, why are you doing that? That thing is gonna go save Big Mom. And Law is just saying that it's not really worth losing their life over. Which I get, right? Like, I get that argument, but it's a Yonko and like, this is a life or death battle. Like, I feel like he shouldn't have switched them out. Like, I'm just gonna be honest with you. Like, that was just plot armor in my opinion to make sure that Big Mom stays in like the fight. Because taking down Big Mom like that would have been a big W in my book. So the fact that he actually switched them and she's actually being saved now, like, that kind of upsets me a little bit. But Kid the Killer actually say that that's okay, that all you really need to do is actually split them up and that they'll fight her themselves, which I'm actually am excited to see because we have to see Killer actually do something. Like, everybody here has been more impressive than him in my opinion. But Prometheus is actually able to save Big Mom, and she's actually pissed at Zeus because he wasn't able to help her, which I really don't see what she was expecting him to do against like the rest of the worst generation, but hey, that's just Big Mom. But Prometheus actually starts instigating and says that airhead is always holding us back, airhead meaning Zeus. And Prometheus actually asks Big Mom a favor, which we don't really get to see, but I'm actually really curious about that. Like, I really want to know, like, what's the favor he has to ask Big Mom? Like, what's so important? I actually think that he's asking her to get rid of him or to be able to merge their powers in some type of way so he's able to be in fully control, because I think he's tired of like Zeus and stuff. So that, or it has something to do with the environment, because the clouds did change right after he said this, and Prometheus is a cloud, so maybe he actually merged with the clouds like to get more powerful, who knows. After this, we transition right back to Luffy and Kaido is actually laughing at Luffy because he's unconscious and he's still staring at him, which Kaido actually takes personally, right? Because Luffy is out to like defeat him, and the fact that he's still staring at him while he's unconscious, like, Kaido is gonna take that personally. But Zoro actually stops him and he says, whoa, what are you doing, bro? This is my captain. Don't you disrespect my captain like this, and don't think you're gonna get away with disrespecting my captain like this. And Zoro actually does something that we haven't seen in hundreds of chapters, and he does Ashura. It's the strongest move we've seen from Zoro, and boy did it pay off. He was actually able to do critical damage to Kaido, and Kaido even said himself that he was able to leave a scar, which is very hype to me right? Because like I said, Zoro has been going crazy this arc. This is Zoro's arc, okay? Like, nobody can tell me otherwise. This is Zoro's arc. So this is another crazy part about the chapter, right? Kaido actually says, or he thinks that Zoro actually has Conqueror's Haki, which we have been speculating for years that Zoro has had Conqueror's Haki. Literally almost everybody in the community has speculated this at least once while reading One Piece. Zoro has the goal, he has the strength, he has the confidence, he has everything that like he really needs to have Conqueror's Haki. Which if he does, don't get me wrong, I'm gonna love it, but I do have like one thing I think that actually like kind of like could be that he doesn't have Conqueror's Haki, and this is all just speculation, but I feel like that this is like a very Oda thing to do, right? Where I feel like Odin's sword, right, like it actually holds Odin's Conqueror Haki into the sword, which don't get me wrong, there's nothing to prove that, but I feel like that would be a very Oda thing to do, and like it hasn't been shown at all till now that Zoro possibly has Conqueror's Haki, so at least not in a basically confirmed way like Kaido has, right? Like my theory is that basically like the sword is basically imbuing Odin's Conqueror's Haki in it, and I just think Zoro was actually able to draw the power of like the Conqueror's Haki out of the sword, and he was actually able to slash Kaido with it, which I'm just gonna say right now, I'm not trying to downplay Zoro. Like if Zoro does have Conqueror's Haki, I'm gonna be very happy, right? Because like I said, we've always speculated, right? Like I would actually really enjoy that, but I also can't just ignore the fact that this is a very Oda thing to do, and we haven't seen Zoro like basically like have Conqueror's Haki at all besides from speculation, and like this is the one time from a Yonko we basically have like 99% confirmation that he does have it. Honestly, it's gonna be badass for me either way. Like either way I'm gonna love it, so really doesn't really matter to me. So, and just to back my claim up, like even Zoro doesn't really know that he had Conqueror's Haki, or like that it's implied that he does have Conqueror's Haki, which is kind of crazy to me, right? Because he did train with Mihawk. I can't really say Mihawk has Conqueror's Haki, we haven't seen anything like that, but you would think Zoro would be able to like draw it out at some point in the series, and like that he would be able to know this. Like I actually feel like there's no way he wouldn't be able to notice that he has Conqueror's Haki like this late into the series. I feel like he would have been able to like figure that out like a while ago. But Kaido actually survives the attack, and he goes to finish Zoro off, and Law actually comes out of nowhere and actually tanks the hit for him so Zoro wouldn't be hit. And Kaido says after this that it's a shame because he actually did want them to join them because they are very powerful, and Kaido has gotten a lot of respect for them now. And Luffy wakes up and actually gets pretty pissed at Kaido because he said, "You're an idiot, like why would any of us join you? Like our samurai are our friends, and like we're gonna be there for them." And this is actually another crazy part, right? Because Luffy was actually able to figure out how Kaido was able to hurt them so badly, or at least him in the beginning of like their first fight. And he's actually able to figure out that Kaido has coated himself with Conqueror's Haki, and that's what's making his attack so powerful, is because he's doing that. And while Luffy is thinking, Kaido actually takes the initiative and goes for the attack, and he says that only a handful of people can actually do this technique. And Luffy actually does some Ultra Instinct Goku type of stuff, right? Because he dodges it, jumps back up, and is actually able to land a solid blow on Kaido. And at this point, Kaido is just at Luffy's mercy, right? Because at this point, Luffy is just beating him up. Like Kaido cannot get in a single attack in. And this is when actually Law comes in and basically like confirms it to us, right, that Luffy has used Conqueror's Haki now to actually be able to do damage to Kaido, because he's not even making contact with him. This is the Roger versus Whitebeard clash basically explained, right, because it actually confirms that Roger and Whitebeard were doing this when they clash. So the fact Luffy is actually doing this fast is actually kind of crazy to me, but I can see how he would be able to get like a good idea of like how to use it. And Luffy actually goes very Chad at the end of this chapter and says, "Don't worry guys, just leave the rest to me." He actually tells them they can rest for now, which holy crap, this chapter has just been amazing. This honestly might be the best chapter of Wano in my opinion. Let me know how you guys feel about it in the comment section below. And this is actually like one of the first chapter reviews I've done on this channel, so if you guys enjoyed the video, please leave a like on it. I greatly appreciate it, and it does help the algorithm out, so you will be helping this channel, and I will greatly appreciate that. Also, I upload pretty frequently on this channel, so if you do like anime content, please leave a like, subscribe, follow me on my Twitter at TrixKamikaze, follow me on my Instagram at Trix_Kamikaze. If you would like more One Piece chapter reviews, please let me know in the comment section below, and you guys have a nice day. Bye guys.